Welcome to Talkin Business. I'm Joe Catrambone, CEO of the Stuart Martin County Chamber of Commerce, and it's my honor today to have Adam Kripitz with me, who is owner, CEO of Kripitz Insurance Agency. Do I have that correct?
Yep.
That's good.
President.
I have a little bit of a bio on
Okay.
you.
Okay.
And Adam claims that they specialize in helping businesses navigate the complexities of group health insurance and employee benefits. And that's all I'm going to read, because I'm going to tell you that's one of the things. By the way, thank you for taking time out of your day, Adam,
Thank you.
and coming up here and doing this with us. Years ago, maybe could be before you're born, I don't know, but group insurance was just taken for granted. You went and got a job, you had group insurance, and it covered everything. You didn't worry about it. Over the years to where we are today, it's a nightmare. At least I have found it to be a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Between who has Medicare, who's got Blue Cross, who's got Blue Shield, it's just crazy. I've only got 8 employees, and we are not able to have a group. Mm-hmm. But that was always something. Even when I first took over a chamber back in the early '80s, there was group insurance, at least available through chambers of commerce. It was called Chamber Insurance, I believe, what it was called, and it was sponsored by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and it was a separate program, and it worked for years, and then all of a sudden it went belly up. It happened here, I guess it was in the maybe early '90s. We lost our insurance. So I went to Dick Harmon, who at that time was president of, it was Martin Memorial, and then it's now Cleveland Clinic. And Dick was a past chairman of the chamber and understood our plight. And I asked him if there was any way to develop a group plan for chambers of commerce or our members. Mm-hmm. And they did. And it was tedious at times, but nothing that I would say it was outrageous. You had to go through the procedures. In 1 year, the hospital lost over $1 million. They had to go out of business.
Yeah.
So it's a problem that I don't know that there's really a feasible solution to, which I'm going to ask you to jump in and talk about that. But are there, or do you see in the future the possibility of some sort of group policy coming back or being offered, or are there some now that are available?
So it depends on the state. Association plans where you have a chamber in Florida and different states, that really doesn't exist anymore. You have an administrative nightmare, because how are you going to bill the chamber in Florida and the chamber in New Jersey, and then how is it all going to coincide? It doesn't really work. But I focus on mostly small group, under 50 employees, which is the bulk of the country, which is small businesses, and just trying to do the right thing and provide quality benefits for their employees. And it's a major problem, because in this day and age where Obamacare came in and it had good intentions, there's many problems. So you mentioned years ago when health insurance, it was one plan would solve everything. $5 or $10 copays, everything was in that plan. Now it's a balancing act. High deductibles, copays. It's very challenging. And in the inflationary environment that we're in, insurance is a big part of that inflation and everything we're seeing. So it's very challenging. Premiums keep going up and benefits keep going down.
And may I say that we're not just talking health insurance either.
Correct.
It's automobile insurance, it's home insurance,
Home-
it's crazy.
Home insurance, car insurance, all the insurance industries are going through a real challenge. So it's a balancing act. So every year it's important that brokers are sitting down with their clients and reviewing their plan, because if you're in a fully insured, with Florida Blue, you're getting a 8, 10, 12% increase every single year. That's unsustainable. So I personally, I offer all of those plans that most other brokers can, which are great. But I also have some alternative plans that
For individual or group?
for group that are unique. A lot of brokers don't offer, where it brings down the cost of insurance and it helps employees afford their insurance, no deductibles, co-pays only. And that's where I think I can bring some value to a lot of businesses in Florida, and also not in Florida.
Is this, is this something new, or is this something that's, I've not heard about it. I don't know.
Well, it's out there. There's other products. There's one product that's basically called reference-based pricing, where some hospitals don't allow people to come in and use the insurance. But there's lots of plans that are developing, and I have a great plan that I have access to, where the single rate is under $500 a month. It covers Part A and Part B penalties for employers over 50 employees, co-pays only, and it just has limits on how many times you can go to the doctor. So
there's
but for restaurants, construction companies, a lot of these blue collar industries, it's a great fit because employers can offer affordable insurance that's good insurance, and it's affordable for the employee and the employer.
What, in your view, what is a reasonable monthly premium to pay for a person in fairly good health without any medical history? What type of monthly premium do you think is fair?
Well, when it comes to health insurance, you can't be turned away for pre-existing conditions. That's part of the Affordable Care Act.
Okay.
If you buy life insurance or long-term care, you have to go through underwriting, and they evaluate your health
Right.
and your age, and the medicines you take, and they can decline you or rate you. But when it comes to health insurance, they can't turn you away for pre-existing conditions, which is a great thing. So
That's probably why it's so expensive also.
that's also true. Yes. So it depends on, every business is different. It depends on the age of the employees of that group. It depends on a couple different factors. So you're talking about like an employer contribution?
Yes.
Okay. So again, depends on the industry. I have clients where employees have been working there for their whole life, and their parents worked for the companies, and they pay 100% of the premium.
The company pays.
The company pays 100% of the premium. But if you have a restaurant,
Or a roofing company.
where their margins are razor thin,
Yeah.
and they're working on 5, 6, 7%, they can't afford to pay 100% of the premium. So I have a lot of groups that pay, let's say, 50% of the premium, or maybe they can't afford that and they pay 25% of the premium. So it depends on the industry, depends on a couple different factors, but a lot of people start around that 50-50 split. And then if they have a spouse or dependents, that cost would fall directly on the employee.
Yeah, that
Because it's very, very expensive.
So that, and I can't remember, but it was all based through the chamber. If you had a minimum of 3 employees, you were eligible for a group. Is there anything like that now?
So you need a minimum of 4 people enrolled.
Including yourself, including the owner?
The owner can be part of that,
Okay,
yes.
so a total of 4.
4 enrolled, yes.
So you could have 10 employees. If 4 choose to enroll, you're eligible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Who in the marketplace right now do you think has the most comprehensive type of coverage? And I'm talking group right now because we're talking to businesses.
Sure.
And most businesses are, if they have an opportunity to lower the cost of insurance, that's a huge number for them. So that's why I want to basically talk about group.
So in the fully insured market, Florida Blue and United are the 2 main carriers.
United Healthcare?
Yeah.
Really?
But then as you get up to 10, 20 employees, then you can go from fully insured to what's called a level funded plan, where it's not based on age, it's based on, it's the 4-tiered system before Obamacare came into play. And then depending on how many people are enrolling, depends on whether they have to go through some sort of underwriting where claims and your health does come into play.
Do you provide, let's say we have a new business establishing 6 or 8 employees. Do you have a service where you would come in and sit down with them and say, here's what we would recommend, or here are some options? Is that a service you provide?
Absolutely. As I talk to businesses all the time, and I'm always looking to grow my business. But yeah, that's all I would basically just need a census of all the employees, their names, their dates of birth, their residential zip code, stuff like that, and then I can shop the market, sit down with the business owner and see, and get some premiums and get some plans together and see if they're interested in moving forward.
You have a staff that does that, or is it you?
I mostly do that. I do have a back office that I have that I rely on that does some back office stuff for me, but it's basically me in the field. I like to talk to the clients myself, and I like to be, engaged in what's going on.
How are you? Obviously you joined the chamber. Are you using our database? Or are you using our membership people to solicit?
A little bit.
To market?
A little bit. Not. I haven't really used it that much. I have reached out to a couple people. I am going to some of the events which have been great. It's a great chamber, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a phenomenal chamber.
I have a great staff.
A lot of great people, and
Yeah,
I only
thank you.
joined I think back in May. But yeah, everyone has just been phenomenal.
Great.
The
Yeah,
people I've met, the other business owners, everything's just been. It's a really great chamber.
And my staff is second to none. I mean, they use them. That's what we're there for.
Yeah.
I would suggest, and I don't, believe it or not, I had an insurance license. I started out,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I worked for Metropolitan Life, and then I went to work for New York Life, and then I got out of the insurance business. It was difficult. I thought it was anyway, but we have 1,400 members. I would be shocked if you or anyone came out to our membership on our website, and on an email, whatever, and said, I have a solution for you to lower your health insurance rates, that you would get a 40 to 50% response.
That's very optimistic of you.
I'm telling you, I'm not, it's probably one of the biggest issues CEOs face today with their employees. it's a benefit. Listen, if you have a good health insurance program, you don't have turnover.
Yeah.
More now than ever before, because
Agreed.
years ago when I was came into the marketplace, everybody offered health insurance. It was expected. It was automatic.
Not anymore.
No, and so I'm saying if you have a viable solution for people, because I'll guarantee you most of our members don't know anything about whether there's groups available or what their options may be, but I can promise you if you offered a viable solution
Yeah.
to people to cut their insurance costs, I can't imagine that you wouldn't have a resounding. Now that doesn't mean everybody's going to buy, but I'm saying that you would. I would look into it immediately.
Yeah. And there's no cost or obligation just send me a census. Let me go through. Let me show you some solutions. But if you're under 50, you don't have to offer health insurance by law. So a lot of these companies probably don't even offer it.
I think you're absolutely correct, but I think that if people saw a way of being able to provide that,
Yeah.
is there a law or a requirement? Let's say I have 50 employees, and I only want to offer it to my 10 key employees. Is that
You can't do that.
So it has to be.
You can't discriminate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to offer benefits, you can't discriminate. You have to offer it to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What our members that you have connected with now, typically what industry are they in? Is it a mixed bag?
It's a mix. I mean, it's everything. It's
Yeah. How about numbers of employees? Is that mixed also? I mean, is it just,
I don't even know. I mean, I would say most of the groups are small businesses. So they're definitely under 50, probably under 25. But if you want to, retain and reward your employees, it's a nice thing to offer health insurance.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Because most people don't offer it anymore. So if you are offering it, it certainly is an incentive to keep your employee. So
Absolutely.
I kind of doing this backwards, and I don't know why. I guess because we got talking about insurance. But what I like to do is, when I first start out, is ask people, what brought you to Martin County?
So in 2021, I moved my family from New Jersey. We spoke about this before. And we knew we wanted to move to Florida, but we didn't know where in Florida. We looked down south. I have some family down in Miami. My parents are snowbirds in Boca, and my wife is an attorney and works with another attorney who lives in Stuart, and she got us interested in Martin County, and we found a broker, and we found a house in the middle of COVID, in the middle of all the craziness, and we found a house, and we knew 0 people here, and we met a bunch of, we love it. It's it's a great county to be in. We live in Palm City, in Hammock Creek. Lots of young families. We met a lot of people through my kids and their activities. And it's just been a really welcoming community. And that's part of me joining the chamber as well, is I want to connect with my community. You know what I mean? Like we meet people through my kids, mostly through my kids.
Well,
and the kids'
that's where you're
activities.
going to meet most of your people. I know that's
Right.
when my kids were
Yeah.
growing up, their friends' parents were my friends.
Sure. No, but I want to provide value to my community, and I want to help them if they have, businesses and not just health insurance, but I can help protect their family with life insurance. If you're high income people who are doctors or attorneys or real estate brokers, disability insurance is like insurance for your paycheck. If you get sick or something terrible happens and you can't work, how are you going to
So many
pay the
people don't
mortgage?
even
And
think about that.
People don't even think about that, and it happens. It happens all the time. Long-term care is a huge, huge problem, an underserved market, and people think that it's only for people in their 60s and 70s. More people in their 40s and 50s are buying it than ever. And it's really, really important. If you get Alzheimer's, which we had to deal with my grandfather, and it was an absolute nightmare.
I can imagine.
To
That's
go
a
into,
horrible
to
disease.
go into a private facility could be
Oh.
10, 12, 14,000 a month. So I ask people, if something that happens to you, where are you getting the money to pay for that? What asset are you going to tap into? So the long-term care, the new products that are available now, it's a hybrid product with long-term care and life insurance together.
That's
So
interesting.
if you never get sick, you still have a permanent death benefit when you pass away, and you don't lose all those premiums. And there's so many different ways to structure it. You could pay a lump sum in one premium. You could pay for 5 years. You could pay for 10 years. There's so many different ways to structure these policies these days. It really gives us a lot of flexibility.
Well, insurance certainly has changed and come a long way
Yes.
since I was in the business, and I'm sure, like every other industry, is changing daily.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see? Do you see anything down the road? Anything new? Anything exciting? Anything that would be beneficial to the consumer? Do you see anything like that in the horizon, or any discussion of anything like that going on, or is it just the insurance business is, here we are, we're status quo, here's where we're going?
I mean, I have a couple unique solutions within life insurance, within health insurance, like that product we spoke about. So, I mean, the products are the products, and the solutions are the solutions. Life insurance is life insurance, but there's so many people who think life insurance is just an expense, where I pay, term insurance for 20 or 30 years, and then there's only a benefit if I die. But there's cash value life insurance, which provides a living benefit and cash value to people to help supplement their retirement, with money, with tax-free dollars. So, and then within cash value life insurance, I have a solution for some high net worth people where you only have to pay premiums for 2 years, and the rate of return are not 4 or 5%; they're 10 or 12%. So I have some very interesting solutions if people want to sit down and discuss it.
I'm one of those idiots that paid 40 years
Don't say that.
term insurance. The reason, when I first took out the term insurance, I was obviously 40 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
The premiums was nothing.
Right.
I wanted several hundreds of $1,000s of insurance. If something happened to me, pay my mortgage, my kids' education, things of that nature.
Exactly. Income replacement.
And I kept paying for naught. Now, probably after my obligations diminished when my kids grew up,
Mm-hmm.
now I know I should have. I can take in the same money I was paying in the premium. Yes, I would have less coverage, but I would be accumulating cash.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the real slap in the face is after having that term insurance. When you reach a certain age, they say, "See ya."
Right.
I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "Well, you would be able to afford the premium." The premium was $20,000 a year.
Well, that's where they get you for term insurance, because
Oh my
because
God!
it's very cheap, which attracts everybody, and then it's like renting your insurance. You pay for 20 or 30 years, but guess what? It's designed to expire. Term insurance is designed to expire, where the insurance company,
Mine did.
they keep all your premiums,
Yeah.
and they never have to pay out a death benefit.
Absolutely.
So that's why cash value life insurance is so important, because it's more beneficial for my clients, and that's who I represent.
It is, but I think the thing, and then obviously I worked for an insurance company, and
Yeah.
and at that time the big rage was E65, Metropolitan Life Insurance. It was the E65
Where you
endowment
pay-
65.
Okay.
And I was able to sell the hell out of that, especially the guys I went to college with and everything, because it's virtually little money, and you were accumulating money, and at the end of the term, you had 50,000 or whatever that dollar was.
Yeah.
But I think that, like me, I don't want to say I was forced but I chose to have higher coverage for that premium in case something happened to me, so that my kids would be, and my family would
Yeah.
be taken care of. So, but where I failed was to recognize, after my kids were grown, I didn't have to continue on. I should have then converted to whole life.
Yeah.
And when the insurance company said goodbye to me, they wanted to give me a check.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like building equity in a house, right?
Yeah,
It's slow
yeah.
and steady. You don't have to think about it. All you have to do is, and you don't have to pay $10,000 or $20,000 a year. You can say, I want to afford $200 a month or $400 a
Right.
month, and it just comes right out of a checking account. It's not tied to the stock market. You can't mess it up, and it's one less thing to think about. So, everyone's, maxing out my IRA, and I have a 401k. Well, guess what? What do all those things have in common?
they accumulate cash, right?
Well, they're all tied to the stock market. The cash value life insurance.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, IRAs and your all of that is tied
Yes,
to the market.
yes.
But the cash value life insurance, it's guaranteed to grow tax-free every single year. You can't mess it up. So, everyone says don't put all your eggs in one basket. You diversify. So, yeah, contribute to an IRA. You have a 401k from an employer. That's great. But put 200, put 400, put 600 a month. I have a couple guys that are putting a few thousand a month into a whole life policy because you can't mess it up.
It makes sense. It's
And
a
then
smart investment.
And then it's not even an investment, and then 20, 30 years, it's like building equity in the house. Slow and steady. It grows tax-free every single year.
Yeah, I think it's a wise move. So we're winding down.
Okay.
We miss anything you want to talk about?
I want to keep talking to you. Come on, let's keep going. No, I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you, and I really
Well, it's
enjoy
my
the chamber.
privilege.
You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
As
That's my staff. They
the-
make me look good.
But no, I can help businesses with their group health insurance. We didn't talk about voluntary benefits, which don't cost, there's no cost to the employer, but anything group related, individuals, if you need help with life, disability, long-term care, individual health insurance, I can also assist in that area as well. So I can help in many different ways. And I look forward to meeting more people.
Yeah, well, let's talk. I mean, if you have an idea, something that you think that would be beneficial to our members and helpful for you, let's talk about it.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a huge thing that I hear about from businesses weekly.
Yeah.
It's a huge issue.
Well, maybe I'll
so-
host a breakfast, and maybe that'll be a good opportunity
Perfect.
to, yeah.
Perfect.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about it. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have
Joe.
a good day.
Yeah, you too.
We good?